Thank you for that gracious introduction, and congratulations to my fellow National Organization of Concerned Black Men honorees. This award is a singular recognition for me. I'm especially pleased to accept the President's Icon Award. Dr. McCrae is a symbol of leadership and commitment to our community, starting with the most vulnerable, our children. My one regret is that I am unable to join you in person tonight to celebrate the National Organization of Concerned Black Men's leadership. There is nothing like the positive energy that comes from a room of supporters who are dedicated to providing care, support, resources, tools, and encouragement to our youth. When I testified in 1991 about sexual harassment, most people didn't know what the term meant or that it was against the law. Certainly, the Senate was unaccustomed to taking seriously the word of a Black woman. That was about to change. Within days of the hearing, 1,600 Black women took out an ad in the New York Times. The group, calling themselves African American Women in Defense of Ourselves, exposed the racism and misogyny behind the Senate Judiciary Committee's flawed process. Women, in particular, women of African descent, rallied to resist being excluded from our democratic representation and to resist the many other challenges we face. In time, Black men joined our cause, understanding that our brighter future comes from our inclusive and collective efforts to serve our diverse community. Fast forward to today, when there are so many threats to our well being, we know that the work is not done. Our right to vote and have our votes counted are at risk. Our valuable contributions to education that have come from school diversity is being dismissed as irrelevant and even illegal. Books about race and sexual and gender identity are banned, and teachers are fired for teaching these topics. Those of us who have a platform must let it be known that withholding knowledge from our children is not the answer. We want our children to exist in our communities and outside of our communities, knowing that they are being treated with respect for who they are, no matter their gender identity, no matter their sexual identity, and no matter their race. None of this was on my mind as I testified in 1991. What mattered most to me was whether I honored my parents, two Black farmers in Oklahoma in their 80s who had suffered blatant sexism, racism, and classism throughout their lives. And yet, they raised 13 children to adulthood, 10 during a period of legal segregation. In so many ways, they are why I've survived for 31 years. They taught me to tell the truth even under the harshest of conditions, and they taught me to fight when others don't believe the truth. In every effort I undertake, I try to match the dignity with which my parents lived their lives. I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have today and that they could only dream of having. This is, in fact, my motivation. I want more for the next generations than my parents had, certainly, and even more than what I have today. My parents were more than resilient, they were tenacious. And we who have the privilege and power they lacked must be even more determined when it comes to rooting out inequality. Both my parents and the young people I meet remind me that courage must be a lifetime commitment, not just a one-time event. Each day I remind myself that the race for equality is not a sprint, as I believed when I was young, nor is it a marathon, as I concluded in middle age. I've learned that the equality race is, in fact, a relay. And I want to thank you tonight for committing to passing the baton to the next generation to better equip them to finish the course. Together, We can change the course of history, as we have so many times. We can make this country great by telling the truth and demanding accountability and equality.